Loading snacks.
Do snackers and snackettes. It's your boy Gage here, Snackin and Hangin podcast, the Loading Snacks podcast. With me is the usual suspects. I got Sin.
Yes, sir, right here.
And New Joker.
Yo, yo.
Let me start by saying Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day to you, brother.
I love you both.
I love you well.
What'd you get?
I got a hug for you next time I see you.
Yeah, all right. It's gonna be a little late, so I want my hug with interest, dog.
You got it. You got it.
Hey, don't do that. So look, ladies and gentlemen, as usual, before we get started, I just want to remind you all to do us a favor and make sure that you hit that subscribe button when you watch us on YouTube. Do us a favor and hit that download button or that subscription button on the podcast so you can catch up with all of our antics as we post weekly on Wednesdays at 9:30 a.m. for our podcast, Mondays at some point.
We're closer to nailing down the time,
yeah. For the Loading Snack Show. And by all means, do us a favor and tune in to us on riptvlive.com to watch the half-hour show that we have every Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. You're going to have to DVR Agent Carter and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. so you can watch us.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Just do it like that. So, without any further ado, gentlemen, let's do.
Yes, sir.
So today, being Valentine's Day and all, this past week, the release of Deadpool.
Yes, we did.
Now, first and foremost, this movie is breaking records left and right.
Yes,
like we kind of expected. We kind of predicted.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I don't know if we expected it to do
as well as what we
like,
really thought it was going to do.
I'm going to start by saying, okay, so it had the biggest opening day ever for an R-rated film.
Yes, it did.
Now, it looks like for the whole weekend, they're estimated to hit somewhere like 135 million, which I believe is also the biggest opening for a film in February. It is a record for President's Day weekend. 50 Shades of Grey opened when it opened on Valentine's Day / President's Day weekend, and debuted at like 85.2 million. So it's the biggest opening for an R-rated film ever. The next closest was the Matrix Reloaded. And
yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah. It earned an additional $125 million overseas. So the global massive opening is $260 million.
Kudos. My hat's off to Deadpool. Yes, sir.
Yeah, my hat's off to Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
And to Rob Liefeld. I gotta show some love to Rob Liefeld.
Yes.
Created Deadpool. Kind of gotta show my man a little love.
Oh, most def.
I'm
Yeah, go ahead, get that shamrock. Go ahead, get that shamrock.
Shamrock shake.
Go get that shamrock.
You know, my Valentine's Day gift to myself, straight shamrock shakes. Love you, McDonald's. Anyway, so yeah. So look, man, let's do a quick overview. First and foremost, obviously, now, New Joker, you and I know we saw it together. Sin, I know you saw it today.
Yeah, I saw it this morning with the wife for Valentine's Day. Yes, sir.
So, that was her gift to you, or was that your gift to her?
Nah, it was something that we decided to do when we saw the trailer. Like, it looked like it was going to be funny. You know she loves comedies. Like, all right, we'll go check it out on Valentine's Day together. So we did, and she enjoyed it thoroughly.
Now, I want you to know that Coop wanted to make sure that I let y'all know he saw it
Oh, he did?
Look,
Oh, he did?
he saw it on Friday. He didn't see it Thursday.
But he,
He saw it on
that's
Friday.
cool. That's cool. He saw it opening day. Cool.
Yeah, he saw it opening day.
We was
So
giving him that work about that. Okay. Was he by himself?
he wanted, nah, his wife went.
Okay.
Him and his wife, they went. You know what I'm saying? So I needed to make sure I put that in there for him.
No, it's okay. It's
He
okay.
didn't actually see it. Since he had to go see Magic Mike to make that happen.
Exactly. And he enjoyed Magic Mike so much he saw part 2.
Nah, it wasn't just that. The truth will be told, man. When you come through here, the Xbox signs you in when it sees you.
Mm-hmm.
And he got signed in, and that Magic Mike was sitting right there on his.
Yep. So was.
Oh yeah. oh yeah.
Play that one off.
Like,
Yeah, nah.
Y'all see that? Y'all want to see that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, hilarity. Anyway, look, guys. Can you grade this? What do you give it? Is it a 10 out of 10? Is it a 9 out of 10?
Oh man,
8 out of 10? 7.5? Where are we on this?
It's high. I don't want to give it a specific grade, but as far as superhero movies, it's definitely up there.
He's not a superhero.
Not a superhero.
I like y'all said that. Yes. But as far as other people classified as a superhero movie, it's up there as one of the top ones. It was Deadpool.
Yeah.
It was Deadpool to a T. Yeah.
Just like you said earlier, I gotta give my hats to Ryan Reynolds, because if it wasn't for him, I don't think that Deadpool character would have come alive the way that it did.
Hey, but you know what? I've always said back in the Wolverine joint, the beginning part, before they screwed all up, he killed it.
Killed it.
Yeah, he killed it as Deadpool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I expected the same thing
for Deadpool.
Yeah.
But he's been lobbying to get this movie done since then.
And it's worth it. And it was worth it.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at some of the interviews and stuff he's been doing since the movie released and things like that, like you hear about last-minute budget cuts, like, yeah, they called us in like the last 48 hours and told us we had to cut $7 million and we had to do this, that, and the third. And like, there's rumors that like stuff like him forgetting the guns, that was stuff that was written in because they didn't have the budget to actually do a big gun battle.
Right.
So, I mean, it's funny because after I started hearing that and hearing about the budget cuts and stuff like that, like I really started reflecting on the movie and thinking about it. And, I noticed that the movie, it's actually really well done. How
it is. I like the Tarantino-esque of the, going back and forth with telling the story and all that kind of stuff. Present time, past.
That is, to me, that's part of the budget issue. Like, the entire first half of the movie, all of the action was one scene. They shot one scene. They used it for the opening.
Yep.
Here's a little bit of story. Come back to it. Give you a little bit of that scene. Cut. Here's a little more story. Right? Go back to that scene. Here's me getting, getting taken away by Colossus, this, that, and the third.
Yeah, and I think a kudos to the writers too, because that was like overall,
that was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah.
That's Ryan Reynolds was writing, Rob Liefeld was writing, and a couple other guys, man. So, I mean, again, they did a really good job as far as nailing their character. I think that they took it overboard in terms of like the cursing and the visuals and the content, but in the perfect Deadpool way. It's overboard. It's way more than needs to be, because I only say that because obviously in the comic books he doesn't curse like that. You don't see things like that. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that's where it's really going with him.
Exactly.
But you never get to see it, so it's like they went overboard, but it was like the perfect kind of overboard for
Deadpool. To bring it to life. Yeah, it was perfect. Yeah.
My only gripes with the film, so without giving it a score, right? My only real gripes with the film are I didn't like the way Colossus looked. He just, I mean, I don't know. I like him shiny. Like, he's been shiny.
You don't like the matte finish?
Like, tarnished. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
you ain't like his paint job at all.
Yeah, his armor all, I don't know, whatever, something. Some stainless steel cleaner, something.
Something.
But The only other thing that stood out to me is funny because nobody else really seemed to notice this, and it makes me think that there was some stuff that was cut or they had to make some last minute changes.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the film, when he gets ready to fight, right? When he flies up, when Negasonic Teenage Warhead up on top of the thing,
right?
When he gets up top, Ajax says to him, "Oh, so you can grow back limbs now?" Something along those lines, like, "Oh, you can grow back limbs," or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't there when Deadpool cut his arm off. He was already gone. Colossus was dragging him down the street and he was handcuffed.
Ooh, yeah. That's a good catch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed it when I was watching the movie, and I was like, wait a minute, he wasn't there when that happened. So that actually immediately made me think there was probably either more to that scene or something else that happened that got cut from the film where he saw him without the arm or something, you know what I mean, beforehand and actually knew.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the Marvel movies that you're gonna want to go buy. Like, you want to see all the behind the scenes stuff because one, you already know he's gonna be Deadpool behind the scenes and cracking jokes and acting like an ass, and for all the stuff that they cut out too. Yeah, like it's gonna be a DVD worth purchasing.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, like, no, for me, it's normally all about the straight digital. I'm gonna buy it digital, whatever. I will buy the Blu-ray.
Yeah, I have to get the Blu-ray
copy.
Yeah.
Under this circumstance because I want to see all the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for this joint to break records with Blu-ray sales.
It probably will. It probably will.
So, all right, New Joker, can you give it a score or you just want to do an overall? What do you think?
It's like the score. I mean, I won't necessarily give it the perfect 10 out of 10, but I gotta give it. It's gotta be between a solid 8 and 9 because I mean, just like you said, with the cuts and things that were made, you could see a few of them, but still, overall though, the way the story was put together and it just came together, it was awesome. I don't think even if they would have had a bigger budget and this could have been I think if they would have gone like a 2.5 hour, I think that would have been overkill for Deadpool movie. I think the hour and 45, just about under the 2 hour mark, was perfect for it.
Yeah.
And even with the way the story was set up, I mean, I don't think it could have been. I'm sure it could have been done a little bit differently, better. But I thought overall though it was really, really good because from start to finish, it had me laughing from jump until the end.
And one thing I will say, I love that they took shots at not only everybody but themselves as well,
everything.
Constantly through the whole thing, like from the opening credits to the scene where he went to the X Mansion. Like they was taking shots left and right, no holds barred. Yeah, it was great. Yeah,
whole time
nobody was safe. Yeah,
I'm sitting in the joint trying to figure out why is this Bama Colossus made of metal trying to eat cereal right now. What you doing, son? Like, relax, bruh. Like, you babysitting, you not.
Trying to do it all professional, like with the finger up, like,
Yeah. And you know what, though? You know what was funny as I don't know what to mean? Look, the movie was so funny, but one of my favorite moments is when he got back in the cab the second time and they hit that pothole. I'm thinking Colossus sitting in the back seat.
Crunched in there.
And you know what I mean? Like it's because of his weight in the back of the joint. You hit a little dude. I don't even know what Slim was saying. In the back of the joint. And my man's just like, man, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Go ahead, kill him. Like, yeah, that joint was on point.
Oh, gosh.
That joint was on point. Like, they didn't overdo the breaking the fourth wall thing.
No, they didn't. They didn't, yeah. It was done really well overall. Really well.
The other Marvel characters they decided to use, even if they weren't necessarily completely true to their powers and abilities, they were the right fit for what the movie was. I will say that fight scene at the end, Colossus and the Angel Dust, they was wrecking, bruh.
Yeah.
Like, they were wrecking.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm happy with it, man. So now the question is, what do you think? First of all, the Ferris Bueller reference at the end of the film. By now, folks, if y'all don't know,
Hey, look.
to a Marvel film.
That's what I was saying to my wife earlier today. Like, we're sitting there, movie goes off, and I see a group getting up leaving. I'm like, why the fuck are y'all leaving? How long has this been going on? Nobody else is moving but them.
And it's like in the beginning, like way back when, I would actually yell out, I'll tell people, yo, no, don't leave. You gotta stay till after the credits. But now I'm just like, you know what? It's your loss. You can try to YouTube it later before it gets pulled down, or you have to go watch the movie again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that and it wasn't probably what people were expecting, but it was literally like, oh, by the way, Cable's gonna be in part 2. Part 2's coming.
Yeah. It was Deadpool.
But it
doing an end after credits. Like it was.
Bruh. But it was Ferris Bueller's Day Off, bruh. I'm in there trying to tell him about. Like, I felt like I was the only person in the theater who knew what was going on. Like, bruh, he's doing Ferris Bueller, and I thought like Ryan Reynolds would be the perfect dude to do to remake Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Mm-hmm. But it was a straight Ferris Bueller, and I'm like, I'm sitting in the joint with my kids. By the way, don't send me no hate mail. My kids are grown, not grown, but I mean they're grown. Like they're 15 and 17. This wasn't like the little ones. This is
okay.
Rated R joint. So before y'all people out there, you know what I'm saying, whatever.
Oh my God, you took your children to see Deadpool.
Get all crazy with the, gauge not loading snacks. Don't do that. Like,
hashtag bad father.
But I will say, sitting next to my children who are both girls.
Your skin was probably crawling.
This movie, like, I knew there was gonna be a sex scene. I was okay with that. But that joint took some turns. It took the most uncomfortable turn. It was uncomfortable to watch.
Hey, yo, I wish I could have been in the theater
and
with y'all just to see your face.
I'm laughing out loud. Like, I'm in tears, bruh. And I'm just like, bruh. Listen, when this Bama proposed with the ring pop.
Oh, my God.
And that joint was a big-ass ring pop.
What really was?
When she was like, where was you keeping that ring? Man was butt naked. I was just like, come on.
Hey, I guarantee we're going to see Voltron rings come back, dog.
Yeah, no doubt.
And people going to buy the shit out of them. Yes.
Hey, yes. Let me just say that Ryan Reynolds and, what's her name, Morena Baccarin, their chemistry was brilliant.
Yeah, it was. It was.
It just, like, she just seemed perfect to play off of him from the moment that they meet in the movie. Like, it was perfect.
Agreed.
And when this Bama took his mask off at the end of the joint, son, and
had this Bama stapled to his face.
I'm through. I'm through. So look, what do y'all think about Cable being in part 2? What do y'all think about that?
I'm really ecstatic for that. It's just, now the thing is like, I guess, how does he come into this? Of course, we know he's going to go through time or whatnot ever.
Right.
But, like, we've had Days of Future Past where they've kind of, they've really went in deep with the whole time scenario and everything.
Right.
So it's kind of like, are they going to somewhat bring that back? Or maybe he just randomly jumps out of time, comes there, and then everything else is explained from that, which wouldn't make sense. But...
there's speculation. I heard some speculation actually today that there might be a cameo of Deadpool or something along those lines, or something that in Age of Apocalypse.
Oh.
So
yeah, I was saying that earlier. Like Deadpool needs cameos now. Like in the universe. Yeah.
And that Stan Lee cameo is the best.
It was best Stan Lee cameo ever.
Period, bruh.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, if you can imagine for a second, if Deadpool just started interrupting, like just showing up in other Bama's films, breaking the fourth wall, and just doing like,
that would be dope. That
it
would be
might
dope.
be too much. Now I will say that I'm slightly concerned about the ability to keep it quiet. Like once you add Cable, this movie didn't really have another. I mean, Colossus is somebody people know.
Mm-hmm.
Most people really only know him from being in the other movies, and he didn't play big parts in those movies.
Right.
I feel like Cable is much bigger than that.
He is.
And so putting Cable in a Deadpool movie, it pulls so much of the attention, not all of it, but attention away from Deadpool in a way that is. But I can see that it'd be like a buddy cop movie, like these two, like Cable just being the super straight man. And
like that's my thing with Cable being brought into it. I would like to see it, but it's all in how they're gonna play Cable in this big rated R thing, playing him off of Deadpool. Like it has to work. It has to work well, and it's gonna have to work right.
And it has to stay rated R, bro.
It has to. You can't go back. You can't go back. After that, you cannot take it back. No,
not at all. But you know what though? I'm about to go ahead and buy that Deadpool game though.
Hey, I was thinking the same thing.
Bro, I was going to sale yesterday for like half price.
That's what I was about to say.
I might have to. But I need, for real, they need to do a new one, and that joint needs to be extra raunchy. Like, it just needs to be right.
Yes.
It needs to be right. So, look, what do you guys think? I mean, the success of this, all right, look, let's be real. I've been down on Fox. I mean, X-Men movies haven't been bad. I like them, but Fantastic Four was terrible. There's ways about that.
I didn't even bother to see it. I'm going to somehow...
Don't worry about it. Don't see it. Save your life. How do you think this affects Fox in terms of their... First of all, now that this has happened, Disney's never getting X-Men back. Let me just tell you that.
No, you're
Fox
right
is
on
going to do... Look, even if Age of Apocalypse fails miserably, these Bammers will do everything that they have to in terms of their contract to keep the licensing if all they can do is Deadpool and Wolverine movies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the success of this movie, Marvel is never getting mutants back. They're never getting the X-Men back. So how do you feel like that's going to affect comic books? Obviously, the Inhumans have to skyrocket. They have to skyrocket now.
Yeah, I mean, it as far as it affecting comic books, it's going to be the same way now. It's just going to be more so, like, definitive now. There's going to be no question now. Like, Inhumans are taking over. That's a new thing. Because mutants are not coming back.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, Fox has this contract. Daredevil has broke records and so forth.
Deadpool.
I'm sorry, you're right. Deadpool has broke records and so forth. Like, no, they're not going to, no, that's that moneymaker right there for them. They found a real moneymaker for them.
Real quick, just because you said that, they did drop the teaser trailer for Daredevil Season 2 today. Did y'all see that?
They did. I sure enough shared it on my Instagram too while I was at it.
Right, I did too. I saw you shared it. I shared it as well. So tomorrow, I'm looking forward to the trailer. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think Disney is in a position where that's just not going to happen. Like Marvel's just they're not getting them back. It's not going to happen. They might be able to work, but I will tell you this. I also think that there's a possibility that the success of Deadpool gives Fox some leverage where if Disney and Fox need to come to the table,
they do
work something out together.
Yeah,
Fox got chips. They got gambling chips now, son.
Oh,
they do.
Them Bama's got.
Hey, look.
We know what you want. We know what you want.
Yeah, that X-Men and that Deadpool money. Oh yeah, they got plenty of gambling chips now. Yeah.
They greenlit Part 2 before the movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
Look.
That's like we in here. So I think that's interesting, man. We have to see exactly how it plays out, but I definitely think that this is going to have an overall effect on it. I know they're gonna give my man some money. They're gonna get a budget this time.
And we know he's gonna talk about the budget.
No doubt.
Hey guys,
they're gonna talk about how they might intro it with all these explosions and lasers and like, yeah, we got to make a budget now, so we about to throw it all at you. Yeah.
You're like, guys, guess what? I didn't forget my guns.
That's right.
I'm here now.
He gonna have a bedazzled suit.
Right. Like, yeah. Got that money for them guns now.
Yep.
There's gonna be way more bullets hitting way more dudes this time.
Yep.
Especially if you got cable, dog. Slim gotta shoot people.
Absolutely. That's what he
He's a
does.
budget for cable by himself.
I mean, he carries two big like no pistols. He carries two cannons with him.
No doubt. Yeah, I think they definitely got a bargaining chip now that changes the game. So I'm excited for the future of what happens with that. And
I am too. And I will say this was a good start to this year of movies and pop culture. Just a great first start. Great way to start it off.
Yep. Gaming has been great so far this year.
Yep.
Movies is right behind it, like right on.
Yeah.
39 days for Batman versus Superman.
Yeah,
we are
somebody
almost
asked me
there.
today, like, man, I wonder how long Deadpool was going to keep this run. I was like, that joint, there's nothing else coming out. That joint's going to keep its run at least until Batman Superman comes out next month. That joint will do well until then. Oh!
Or Cloverfield, yeah.
Cloverfield is not
Nah.
not going to knock Deadpool.
That's the closest before Batman Superman.
So look, I heard this today. It's unconfirmed. I do plan on going and seeing Deadpool again. Hopefully at some point during this week. You know, we're going to be busy. We're going to MagFest this week.
Woo, MagFest, baby.
I'm excited about that. But this is what I heard, speaking of MagFest. This is music related. But it's also Deadpool related.
Wham?
So, no.
Okay.
Right, though. So this is what I was told. I was told when you watch the credits in Deadpool, if you look at the names, as you know, like, I don't know if you noticed, but the names when you watch the credits are staggered at the end of the movie. If you watch the names go up, if you look at the reflection, like, say, on the ceiling of the movie theater, that it looks like, you know how, like, if you're listening to music in, like Windows Media Player, and you have it set where, like, you see, like, the equalizer bars?
Yeah.
That it actually does that to the music that's playing during the credits.
What?
And I was like, you're on crack. There's no way that's real. But now I have to go see it. I have to check it. As the names scroll up, when you look at the top of the screen, when you look at it, you can actually see, like, the bars going up and down, and it actually works with, like, the equalization of the music that's playing during the credits.
All right, yeah, I gotta go see that again for that.
Yep.
Yeah, I have to.
Because...
Yeah. So as soon as my man get back from Aruba, shout out to Alex Sir Ace, we are going to go see that, and I gotta see that. Yeah, I gotta check that out.
Okay. All right, so look, we're gonna switch subjects real quick. I wanna ask you guys a question, you know, a gaming related question, and this has to do with the fact that I want to know, have betas in gaming basically replaced game demos? We have been getting beta after beta after beta with this generation of consoles, and we very rarely get demos. I think I counted the other day on the Microsoft Store or on the Xbox Game Store, whatever. I think there are a total of like 20 demos, 20 game demos.
That sounds about right.
In over 2 years. That's it. 20 demos. Compared to where we were with like PS3, 360, I mean, at least with the 360, every arcade title, every indie title had a demo. But it feels to me like without there being any middleware, there's no like real middle ground left in gaming. It feels like it's either AAA or it's indie, period.
It is. Yeah,
and that does seem to be changing a little bit because indie studios are beginning to do games that are like $20, $30, $40. You know what I mean? Like the middle's kind of coming back.
Yeah.
But having said that, between betas and things like, say, the preview program or, you know, things like that, even with PC, have we just lost? Are we just not getting demos anymore? Is this just not going to happen? And betas are the new demo. I mean, in some cases they use betas like to get access to a beta. You gotta pre-order the game anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I hate that aspect of it. I absolutely hate that
It
aspect.
doesn't generally happen, but it does happen.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, is the beta life? Is this it? Are we in the beta life?
It seems like it's going that way now because like I'm gonna be honest, the last demo, believe it or not, was a demo I just played was for Naruto. Now I feel like maybe because it doesn't have as a mass multiplayer kind of thing as say like the Division has, it doesn't necessarily really need a beta for it to really run on there.
You're right.
So for a game like that, you may see a demo come out of, but then say like for a game like a Madden, I don't think you even see a demo for that anymore because I'm sorry, but you're playing the same thing every single year other than
Yeah, I mean,
people's name changing.
I don't know that necessarily needs a demo, but you know what could probably use a demo would be a game like WWE 2K16.
Agreed.
Right? UFC.
Far Cry Primal.
Right. You know, even games that are coming out that have a heavy single player story or just whatever, like I understand that betas are something that have become something that's necessary for them to do because so many games have online aspects and components and they need test servers and things like that. I get that. But I feel like demos, unless I just missed something last generation and demos just did not turn into revenue dollars, you know what I mean, for companies. Like if people were just playing demos but then never actually buying, you know what I mean?
I think it all depends on the game. Like if you play a demo and you don't like what you're playing, you're not gonna go buy the game. Where if you don't put out a demo, you're more likely to drop $60 on a Road to game, for instance.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's the only reason I can think of why they wouldn't put out demos. You know, they're scared to take the chance of losing that revenue.
Right. They'd rather you just buy the game and then worst case scenario, you trade it back in if you bought the physical copy, but it doesn't matter to them because you've already given them your.
You already given them the money. Yeah, exactly. It's
so
GameStop or whoever that's losing
already
that.
Done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so then what should indie developers do? You know what I mean? You're an indie developer, you're putting out a game, nobody's ever really heard of you. You might have a bit of a name for yourself, maybe you put something out last generation or something like that, but like, you know, you're doing an indie game, you're not doing a beta. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So do indie developers need to have demos? And I guess the thing for me is I kind of feel like this is maybe more of Microsoft and Sony's doing, that they are not allowing a demo of some sort. I feel like most developers would want to do a demo in some way, shape, or form, right? That what I remember loving about Xbox Live Arcade was that when you got the demo of a game, if you started playing it and you liked it, like once you got to the end, quote unquote, of the demo, it would just be like press X to purchase. And when you did it, it just opened because the entire game was technically already on your hard drive.
Exactly, right. Download it, right.
You just only had access to a certain portion of it because you hadn't paid for it.
Right.
And that just seems like a good idea to me. Like I don't, you know what I mean? Like it seems like it would be much harder to get people to buy a game that they can't try. Now, having said that, there are a lot of indie developers that have games that seem to be doing really well, even though there's, you know what I mean? Like, even though there's no demo.
I mean, like,
go ahead.
I was going to say, like, I like the Xbox preview program they got going on with the indie developers. Like, I like the fact you can download it. You pay maybe half the cost of what it would be for initial game, but you get to play the entire game pretty much throughout its development process.
Right.
And get feedback. Like, I think that's great as far as a demo or beta is concerned.
Right.
I think it's great. I like that. Maybe, you know, PlayStation or somebody should look into that. But I don't know. What you think, Joker?
I mean, another thing to look at for the indie games, especially when you have ones that are only like, you know, like $20, if that at max for some of them, you may be a little bit more inclined to go ahead and drop that $15, $20 on that indie game because it's not a big loss to you. Like if I paid $60 for a game and I hate it, I'm gonna be pissed. But if I pay $20, I may be a little sour, but I'm not going to be completely out of pocket on that.
It still ends up being $20 you could have put towards that 60.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, right? I mean, that's the way I look at it. When I look at how I spend my money on games, I look at it in terms of that. You know what I mean? If you put out a game, even if the game is 100 hours, but it's $15, obviously that's a great value for the price. But if the game is 100 hours and I don't like it, that's a quarter of the cost of a full game that I maybe would like. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. So it just seems to me that having like indies don't have the option of doing rentals, right? I mean, you know, if you're a AAA developer, you're putting something out on disc, people Redbox, there's GameFly, you know what I mean? There are ways to try games that you don't own before you actually purchase them. If you're indie, you don't have that as an option. So it just seems to me that the smartest course of action would be to have some level of a demo that people can get their games on. And I think people do. I mean, I think maybe it's just changed. Maybe YouTube has just gotten to the point where it's so big that the kind of covers that they have there, maybe people doing Let's Plays, Twitch, you know, stuff like that, is enough that it seems to be convincing people like, oh, this looks like something I would really like. You know what I mean? Because you got to think, obviously having coverage on like major gaming websites, Game Informer or IGN or, you know, whatever, certainly help an indie developer get more sales than they would normally get. But also keep in mind that the people who, you know, the majority of buyers out there don't pay attention to any of that stuff. Meaning that it's got to be like now, if you go on to the Xbox Game Store and you see an indie game, a lot of games don't even have a trailer. Like you scroll down to the bottom, but what is there is gameplay footage, not a trailer. Or you different Twitch channels of people playing.
Or they recorded videos, stuff like that. Yeah,
and you get to hear people talking about it and stuff like that. So maybe it's just that, like Twitch and YouTube and so forth have replaced the need to make a demo, and people are buying them because they're watching other people playing. They're going, that looks like it'd be worth $10. I could probably have a good time with that. You know what I'm saying? There's an indie game that just dropped. I'm trying to think of what it's called. But basically it's a 4-player co-op, which is already up my alley right there. It's like an old school kind of like a 1930s through 50s kind of looking thing to it.
Okay.
It's like almost like tower defense, but you're like fighting aliens. Like there's a lady who has certain abilities and a guy that has certain, you know, whatever stuff like that. And it seems like one of those games where like it doesn't look great. It's like one of those games where if like me and you, Sin,
we can get in and have a good ass time with it.
You know what I mean? Like we get in and we might knock that joint out.
Yeah.
And it has a trailer. It doesn't have a demo. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, But it reminds me, like the idea of it reminds me of Trenched or of Iron Brigade.
Okay.
And we
murdered.
Couldn't get off of that.
Hey, I'm waiting for that to become backwards compatible.
It is. It is.
Iron Brigade is?
Yes, it is. It's already up.
Then why
on the system now?
Why in the blue hell haven't we played that?
Because matter of fact, because me and Chris Lightning talked about it like 2-3 days ago. Like, yo, we need to get back on that joint.
Yeah.
They did that update. We was getting mollywopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
so
go.
I mean, they were. It ain't nothing but a G thing, baby.
Let's go.
Yeah. So anyway, I'd like to see demos, but I think maybe Twitch. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's Twitch and YouTube. People are watching that and going, "Oh, I'll buy that."
Because I've done that before. Like going in and look to see, like, do I want to get this game? I want to spend the money on this.
Right.
Because there's no demo for me to play, so that's the only way I can go to figure it out. Like, I go to the people who's actually playing it to look at it.
Right.
If I want to, drop the money on this right now. So
yeah, I mean, an interesting thing is, like, for instance, with EA Access, I have EA Access, $35 for the whole year, but I mean, it essentially lets me have a demo. I get 10 hours to play any game they put out, and I can start playing it like 5 or 6 days before it actually releases. Like it comes out that Tuesday, I can start playing it on Friday, right?
Okay.
And then I realized like people are talking about this game Unraveled. It's kind of like not another thing for EA, whatever. I get 10 hours to play it. Most people are saying they beat it in 5. Now, I have literally complete access to the game for 10 full hours. I can get achievements and everything. I mean, I could probably play that game and beat it and never buy it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of crazy.
It is.
That's kind of crazy. But
wow.
Yeah, things are changing, so I'm wondering whether or not we'll start to see other companies do stuff like that. Because I think it might be a good move if they put out enough games. If they publish enough games, it could be a good move for somebody like say Activision or something like that. So.
Absolutely.
I don't know. All right, fellas, any final thoughts?
No, I think as far as I'm concerned, we covered it all right then.
I think we did.
Good points of views. Yeah, I'm actually good on that. I'm actually real good.
The Joker.
I'm good to go here. I'm just getting excited for this week in MagFest coming up now.
Yeah, bro.
Looking to the next thing.
Yeah, no doubt. So, ladies and gentlemen, definitely look out for us at MagFest. If you see the Loading Snacks crew, if you see some guys wearing some Loading Snacks shirts, some guys running around with a camera with a pink attachment for the shoulder, that's Rosa, and that's Kay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Look for us. By all means, come up, talk to us, say hi. We'll be looking to holler at you guys and see what you think and what you've enjoyed and all that kind of stuff. So definitely looking forward to doing MagFest. Make sure you guys go follow us on Instagram at Loading Snacks. Follow us on Twitter at Loading Snacks. And go ahead and jump in and like us on Facebook, Loading Snacks. And again, if you haven't already, hit that download button, subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss anything, and do the same thing on YouTube for us, please. We love and appreciate you. Happy Valentine's Day. And we are out. Toodles and Loos.
Loading snacks.